If you'd have offered Napoli this scenario at the start of the season, well, then they'd have bitten your hand off. The Partenopei know that 2 wins would seal the club's 4th Scudetto, regardless of what Inter do elsewhere. There is even a scenario whereby Napoli could be champions tonight if they were to win at the Tardini and Inter were to lose at home to Lazio. As for Parma, they too are masters of their own destiny thanks to a 4-point cushion over the bottom 3 at the start of play. 9 matches kicking off simultaneously in match day 37 of Serie A. We're focused on events at the Tardini, where it's Parma-Napoli and it's live. Christian Chivu makes 3 changes to the Parma side that began their loss at Empoli. Balog replaces the suspended Valenti, while there's the first appearance for Circati since mid-September. Hernani also comes into the side. Boni scored in the reverse fixture. Just the one switch for Conte and Napoli from the 11 that drew against Genoa. Billy Gilmour fills in for the injured Lobotka. McTominay is fit to start after what's been a difficult week for him in terms of an injury concern. Buongiorno and Juan Jesus, meantime, have travelled to the Tardini, albeit out of solidarity. They're not available amongst the substitutes. Romelu Lukaku scored early on against Genoa. Prior to that strike, he had a dozen goals in a dozen matches for Napoli that had produced 12 wins. But for once, his goal did not end up proving to be worth 3 points. Napoli could be champions later on this evening. They could be Scudetto winners come next week. But the equation is the same. The first portion of it requires a victory here at the Tardini. We're up and running. Parma looking to cause problems immediately for the Partenopei, who will be nervous, as evidence there from that slice clearance from Matias Oliveira. Gilmour, Di Lorenzo, Zombonguisa dispossessed, and here come Parma, who are very good in transition. Hernani racing away from Gilmour. Boni in the channel. Here he is now, the Frenchman. Pellegrino calling for it. Boni goes for goal, and it's comfortably held by Meret. Boni running at Rahmani. Boni across. Meret did well to snaffle it because Hernani was closing in. Parma showing that they can be a threat. Spinazzola. Lukaku for Raspadori. Now it's with Politano. Di Lorenzo on the overlap. Still Politano. Raspadori now. Spinazzola. McTominay's cross. Suzuki got there. It was Keita keeping tabs on Lukaku. McTominay round the corner. Raspadori on the half turn. Now he seeks out Politano. Lovely ball. Politano coming back inside. Well held by Suzuki. But a reminder of what Napoli can offer. Raspadori with the approach play. The movement of blue shirts in the box allowed Politano to open up the space. Balog didn't do enough. Suzuki, though, a fairly easy save. McTominay. Down by Lukaku. Zombonguisa, they've dropped off him. Still Zombonguisa. This is Politano. McTominay, and now Raspadori has been dispossessed. Boni, this time being held by Rahmani. Lots of physical players on the pitch. This was Politano's ball across. Headed away by Rahmani. Circati for Boni, straight at the goalkeeper. He's not scored in a while. The man they call Angelo in this part of the world. Politano. Good work from Valeri. He's pinched the ball off Politano. He's just caught in two minds. He could have played in Di Lorenzo. Valeri. Som can keep it moving for Hernani. Now Del Prato bombing forward in support. Hernani. Simon Som. Lovely first touch, and it needed a save from Meret. First big opportunity of the match, and it came from the Swiss midfielder Simon Som. Oliveira, now McTominay, trying to make something happen. McTominay, Zombongisa, still there for him, great trickery! And it's off the post! Would have been one of the goals of the season from Zombongisa. Spinazzola meantime, back for Raspadori now. Raspadori stands it up, Lukaku is waiting. Spinazzola. Can he deliver? Raspadori crosses, Lukaku's header is off target, but Zombongisa showing outrageous technique. Chested it down, the sombrero away from Leone, the volleyed effort that had Suzuki beaten, and it's the frame of the goal that denies Napoli. A stunning opener from Andre-Franck Zombongisa in this, his most prolific of campaigns. Politano, Lukaku has pinned his man. Valeri came back, nearly lost it, he has lost it to Lukaku, and McTominay is denied by Suzuki. Referee waited for the conclusion of the chance to blow his whistle, it wouldn't have counted. Foul by Romelu Lukaku, but excellent work from Emanuele Valeri. Pellegrino's won it back, but that was far too predictable. Gilmour over the top, now Lukaku gives chase. We saw that in the reverse fixture from Suzuki, this time he got it right. High tariff on that, coming off your line as a goalkeeper, especially out of your penalty area. Spinazzola, Lukaku lays it off, Raspadori. Shot was stifled at source. Valeri with the long throw. Pellegrino won the flick on, and that is the end of the first half. Napoli would have loved to have enjoyed a half-time cushion. Instead, Andre-Franck Zombongisa only hit the post after a fabulous bit of individual skill. Closest Parma came to a goal was courtesy of Simon Som. His shot was tipped over. Suzuki is kept out. Raspadori, meantime, et al. No favours just yet for Inter from Parma, but they have had help elsewhere in their efforts to try and stay in the division. At half-time, scoreline reads Parma 0, Napoli 0.
Lo sport sempre con te.
The pressure is on for Antonio Conte. 7 wins in 13 matches against Parma. How he desperately needs to make it 8 victories in 14 meetings against the Ducali. Zombonguissa struck the post. So close to giving Napoli the breakthrough they have learnt. Napoli's fate remains in their own hands, but they need to score here at the Tardini to move back above into the Nerazzurri. 1 up against Lazio at the break at San Siro. Huge 45 minutes in prospect now for the Partenopei. Then again, there is scope for Parma to completely ruin Napoli's plans by scoring a goal of their own. Hernani. Into touch it goes. How many match winners do Napoli have on the bench? That's the big question. David Neres would certainly be one. Played a handful of minutes against Genoa, very nearly teed up Billing for what would have been a winning goal, but the Dane headed wide. Neres has that unpredictability that very few players in this Napoli side possess. Here's Simon Sohm for Parma. Sohm goes for goal, pushed away by Meret. That was a much harder save than the one he made in the first half. Again, it's Simon Sohm testing him. This ball was dipping and swerving. It was awkward for Alex Meret. Might have seen it late as well. It's a much better save than it first appeared from the Napoli number 1. This was fizzing towards the top corner. Excellent goalkeeping. Rahmani. Zombonguissa kept in play by Politano. Here's Zombonguissa again. Now Lukaku. And here's Raspadori. Still there for Raspadori. The angle's against him. Pushed away by Suzuki. Spinazzola couldn't collect. McTominay. Hernani blocked the shot. But Raspadori coming to life. Politano away from Valeri. Politano, it's caught the crossbar. He meant it as a cross. He nearly scored, Matteo Politano. And Napoli have now struck the woodwork at both ends of the ground. Suzuki deceived by the flight. That was definitely a cross from Politano. It's nearly the best miss hit of his career. Gilmore's evening is up. Napoli have to be bold. Raspadori coming off as well. It's not going to be the hero tonight. Ned is joined by Billing. Good work from Spinazzola. It's through towards McTominay. Was caught there by Del Prato. It's a yellow card. McTominay saying it should be a red, but there was a covering defender. Billing in discussions with Zombonguissa. McTominay looks a pretty good candidate to strike this. They've got to work the goalkeeper. It's the first task. McTominay hits the free kick! What a save from Suzuki. Scott McTominay almost did it again. It was the goalkeeper's side, but it still needed saving from Suzuki, and that's fabulous. And again, it caught the frame of the goal. 3 times now Napoli have struck the woodwork. They're getting much closer though. Lukaku withdrawn. And Simeone scored big goals en route to the Scudetto in 2023. Needs to get one here at the Tardini. They can't rely on Lazio scoring another equaliser. Still too casual from Napoli. No desperation about their play just yet. David Neres. Mazzocchi. They've gone backwards. Oliveira with the cross. Billing is there, but he couldn't stretch enough. Not a bad ball from Oliveira, just a touch too heavy. Else Billing would have surely guided it back towards several players in blue. And has a cheer just gone up, signifying another goal at the Meazza. I think it might well have done, you know. We'll wait for confirmation. Calma, says Conte. Well, Napoli aren't even holding up their end of the bargain. This is astonishing if it is now 2 each at San Siro. Lukaku's relaying the message. Napoli should still try and go and score. It is 2 each. The Biancocelesti have once again levelled. Unbelievable, via a penalty at Inter. Napoli are back on top again despite having done nothing themselves as an attacking force tonight. Red cards on the way now. But again, Napoli are at the mercy of the unknown. What you can't legislate for. What they need to do is try and ride this wave of emotions, get a victory of their own at the Tardini. How on earth have Inter twice squandered a lead? Red cards being brandished. Conte has said too much. He's going to be suspended for the final home game at the Maradona. But as things stand, Inter 2, Lazio 2, Parma 0, Napoli 0. Napoli, astonishingly, are still one clear at the Serie A summit. As things stand, I hasten to add. Juric with the flick on, away by Mazzocchi. Oliveira stretched for it. Now it's Philip Billing. Simeone making the run. Billing. It's broken for Simeone. Neres is there. Ngonge picks up the baton. Ngonge. David Neres. Was he caught? Penalty to Napoli. David Neres fouled in added time. And the Brazilian has made the difference. Lervik says no. Parma protest, but Napoli now on the cusp. Parma committed too many bodies forward. Neres dropped the shoulder. Lervik stepped across him, put his arm across, didn't play the ball. And Daniele Doveri saw it as a penalty. That is not a clear and obvious error. It is not going to be overturned, I'm sure, by an on-field review after consultation with Valerio Marini. Parma might be bailed out here. Is that a foul by Jose Simeone? Did he kick through Circati? It is technically a foul. It looks very soft. Parma didn't really appeal, but those are the laws of the game. Does Daniele Doveri see that as a foul? That's what Valerio Marini has flagged up. Circati plays the ball. Simeone then collides with the Australian defender. By the letter of the law, that is a foul, and therefore it would prevent the penalty from being confirmed. That was clearly a foul by Lervik on David Neres. Daniele Doveri has seen enough. And the decision is overturned. It's a foul on the Parma player. The biggest roar of the night is from the Tardini faithful. Simeone, the guilty party for catching Circati. It's this challenge here which has stopped Napoli from winning a penalty. And it remains Parma 0, Napoli 0. The Parma-Napoli won't have a spot kick. And there it goes. Not the denouement they expected, not the result they necessarily wanted at the start of play. But Lazio have done Napoli a big favour. The 2-2 draw at the Meazza, coupled with the stalemate here at the Tardini, mean that Napoli still have their noses in front in the title race.